Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff, owner of Apex Predator Outfitters and retired first sergeant. Hey, guys, today's question I have gotten multiple times. This seems to be like a pretty hot topic that a lot of people want to know about, and that is, do recruiters lie? Do military recruiters lie? And more specifically, do Army recruiters lie? All right. I feel like I'm qualified to speak into this because my last 12 years in the Army, I was in recruiting. So I was a detailed recruiter for a few years. That's the one that actually goes, finds the people, answers all the questions, and puts them in. I did that for a few years, and then I was a station commander. And the station commanders, that's the ones who run the recruiting station. So I had recruiters under me that I ran. And then obviously I was a first sergeant. So I was the first sergeant for a recruiting company where I had, on any given day, 70 to 75 recruiters under me. So I feel like I'm pretty qualified to answer this question. So the first thing we need to do is, when you are thinking about recruiters, all recruiters aren't the same, okay? The military, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, okay, these organizations are a microcosm of society. And what a microcosm is, it's a small group representative of a bigger group that have the same traits, right? So there's bad people, liars, thieves, cheats in society. So obviously the military is going to have their share. So just casting aside the total sociopaths that make it in the Army, which there's not too many, we usually catch them pretty quick and get them out. But you will run across the occasional person that stretches the truth or is a liar. I would say that is less than 1 or 2% of all the recruiters out there. I've dealt with hundreds of recruiters and got to know them really well. So I would say that is highly unlikely you're going to run into them that's just going to manufacture and just lie and lie and lie, okay? But the next thing that we have is, when we talk about lying, let's talk about intentional lying. So let me give you an example. We have in recruiting, what we used to do is tell our Army story. So I would talk about from when I came in to where I'm at now in the Army. Now, obviously, my experience in the Army was overwhelmingly good. So my Army story was positive. I would focus on the positive things, and I really wouldn't bring up the negative things. Now, that's not intentional that I'm not talking about the negative things. It's just I'm highlighting my career. If the Army was that bad, why would I spend 23 years? Now, to the credit of some people that I talked to, they would tell me, hey, Asarn, you're telling me all this good stuff. What about the bad stuff? And if they ask, yeah, I would tell them there's some crappy things, deployments. Some people like them, some people don't. You have duty, CQ duty. It's a 24-hour thing. It's not very good. But as far as omitting things, is that a lie? Is it not a lie? I don't consider it a lie because if someone were to ask me, I would tell them. And if this is my first meeting with you and I have nothing but bad things to say about the Army, you're probably going to lose interest and not going to want to stay and talk to me or possibly join. But as far as me intentionally doing that or recruiters intentionally doing that, I can tell you that it's not intentional. You got bad memories. You kind of want to leave them aside and keep it moving. So I would not consider omitting certain things. I don't really consider that a lie because if you ask and dig a little deeper, they will tell you some of the negative things. Now, another issue that people will have where they think recruiters are lying, recruiters are supposed to be subject matter experts, okay? Meaning they are subject matter experts on all things Army. Well, listen, I'll tell you like this, with over 150 jobs and all of that, no one is really a subject matter expert, especially a young sergeant recruiter who's been in the Army 4 or 5 years and done their job, okay? But what they will not want to do is say, I don't know. For some reason, they don't like to say that. You have to realize these recruiters, they go to recruiting school. It's only about 40 days. That's the training they get leading up to going out and talking to what we call the GAP, G-A-P, the Great American Public. So, they get about 4, they don't know everything about recruiting. I was in it for 12 years and I didn't know everything about recruiting. But what that leads to is, for some reason, they don't like saying, I don't know. So someone will say, hey, what about this job or this duty station? And the recruiter will tell them what they think they know and not what they actually know, which this can be a problem, which really shouldn't be. I never had this issue because if somebody wanted to know about, let's say, a communications job, I have no idea what the communications people do. But if I had somebody in the office or someone that I knew personally, which I did, that had that job, there's probably 7 or 8 different jobs in the communications field. If somebody's in that field, they can answer those questions for them, and I would put them in contact with them, just like me. I was a 92 Fox, which is petroleum supply specialist before I became a recruiter. Any of those 92 series jobs, I know because I've worked with those people. So do you consider that a lie if someone is telling you what they think they know? Maybe they don't know, maybe they have an idea, maybe they got some bad information. Me, I don't really consider that lying to anyone. If you're just trying to educate a guess, your best guess from your experience. So you can be the judge of that, whether they think they're lying to you or not. And lastly, I'll tell you this, like I told everybody that I would talk to who thought I wasn't telling the truth or thought I was lying. And I would tell them, listen, man, it's 2000, whatever, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. Google is your friend. Everything that I am telling you, you got a smartphone in your hand that you can Google and verify the information. There is no reason for recruiters to be out here lying to people when the recruiter knows good and well you can Google it. And that's where some recruiters get hemmed up, what I was talking about earlier, what they think they know versus what they actually know. But we will run into instances as recruiters that somebody will put something on Reddit or that somebody will read an article that is just not the case and very far out there. And we have to kind of reel those people back in like, hey, you're looking at one source. You need to look at multiple sources. But anyway, guys, to kind of draw this into conclusion, do the recruiters lie? I would say overwhelmingly no, and overwhelmingly not intentionally, because you've got to realize the first job of a recruiter, an Army recruiter, is to establish trust and credibility with the prospect, applicant, and then later on future soldier. If we lose that, it's done. And those recruiters are very cognizant that if they get caught up lying to you, they have burned that bridge, and then everyone you're going to go out there and tell them, hey, this guy was lying, yada, yada, yada. So, hey, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I don't know if you agree or not. If not, let me know in the comments. As always, if you want to know anything Army related, drop it into the comments. I hope you can consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And y'all have a good day. I'll see you next time.